Salut et bienvenue à Passionnez-moi pour notre saison dédiée au tourisme de la région de Prescott-Russell. Aujourd'hui, nous sommes à la foire de Vankleek et j'ai bien hâte de voir les choses uniques qu'ils ont à nous offrir. I am here with Bev Newton, president of the Vankleek Agricultural Society and the fair.
Yes, that is correct, Cillian. And it's our 173rd 173rd year, and we are the second oldest fair in all of Ontario. This year being Canada's 150th. Our theme this year is celebrating the past 150 years and embracing the future, meaning our future is a young generation that does have to take over from us.
Tell us a bit about your fair. There is a lot of activities going on.
We try to have something for all ages, from the young at heart to the elderly, and we have from a Combine Derby on Thursday nights, which is a tremendous draw, and tonight we're having a horse pull, and the ever-famous Demolition Derby on Saturday night, which attracts people from far away, and we have great entertainment in the show barn, great music. Tonight, Ambush is playing, and
Which are very popular.
they are very popular in this area, and they have a big following. And then we have all kinds of games for kids and great meals, and I think the 6-team horse hitch is a tremendous attraction. It's one of the best in Eastern Ontario, but we had to cancel this year because of the rain, which goes on with an outside activity.
I think a lot of the fairs were affected by the rain this year, so it's unfortunate for a lot of activities because of that, and especially for fairs because most of it is outside, right?
Yeah, this summer's been tough on all of these associations, but you know what? 2 years ago, we had a major rainfall, and this grounds was a lake. But you know what? We survive, and we smile, and we just keep going.
So about the Combine Derby last night, it was a great success. You were telling us that there was a lot of participants.
Yeah, absolutely. We had at least 16 combines, and they just kind of smash themselves up out there, and they repair them and get them fixed for next year again, and the crowd loves it.
Are those machines that they actually use on the farm, or these are stowaway that they use for those type of activities?
These are machines that we used maybe 20 years ago and whatever. They're not usable for cutting oats and grain and stuff, but they use them just for the demolition derby, combine derby.
And what kind of activities are going to be available tomorrow?
Tomorrow we have 4-H show for all the young kids, and there's
Can you elaborate on that? What is that exactly?
4-H. It's for kids from basically 12 up to 18, but we have junior 4-H, which we get the little tots 5 and 6 out. They call it the Pee Wee division, and it's kind of cute. They lead their calves around, and these kids are like 5, 6, 7 years old, in hopes of them becoming a full-fledged 4-H member.
Like we saw that some people had their calves and their cows, and there were competition, and there was grading. I didn't realize that people actually had those type of competition. I just thought cows were cows.
Oh no, some people take it very serious. And today we had over 100 in the Holstein show.
Wow, that's a lot.
100 cows. And some of these winners will go on to some other fairs, and then they have a grand champion, a reserve grand champion, and so on. And at the end of the fall season, the best ones get to go to the Royal Winter Fair in Toronto and compete for all across Canada for the best cow and best 2-year-old or whatever. So these farmers take it very serious, and they have for a long time.
That's wonderful. We also saw that they were huge horses. I guess that's for the horse pull.
Yes, for the horse pull tonight, sometimes we get 12, 14 teams, and they all pull for the best weight. And beautiful horses. And it's a crowd pleaser for some, but it's not for everybody.
How heavy do they pull, actually?
Oh, they could pull 6, 7, 8,000 pounds, depending on the size of the horse.
7,000 or 70,000?
I think I got that wrong.
Okay, we'll cut that out.
Sorry.
No worries.
I cannot give you the exact weights. I have not been involved in that, but they could pull much more than their weight, many times over.
Because we saw them getting prepared, and there was a big tractor pulling all those cement blocks.
Yes.
Yeah, so even the tractor, I'm thinking, wow, they're going to be animals pulling that.
Yeah, I just can't give you the exact weight, but they are very powerful animals, and they pull, and they almost get down on their knees pulling, so it's nice to watch. Yeah.
It's a great show.
Thank you. We work hard. We have a lot of volunteers, and we actually start planning this in January for August.
How many volunteers do you have?
We have about 45 on the Agricultural Society, and it takes a lot of preparation.
So I'm curious, how many people were you or are you expecting for this weekend?
Hopefully about 15,000. Last night we had about 4,000. Today's a bit smaller with the rain, but we'll get at least 6, maybe 7,000 tomorrow night. And then Sunday also is a very good draw. And we have a lot of activities at this fairgrounds throughout the summer. I'm sure some of you have heard about Bose, and they put on a tremendous Oktoberfest the end of September, and they use our site. I'm giving them a little bit of a pun maybe, but they get 20,000 people over 2 days for their Oktoberfest.
There must be lots of good beer.
Lots of good beer, lots of great food.
And I guess that makes good friends too, right? Everybody gets together.
One thing about Vankleek Hill, we are extremely good at having great volunteers working together. And actually, we are the envy of some communities because we have so many things in Vankleek Hill, from a festival of flavors in September, which brings about 5,000-6,000 people, to Victorian Parades. I'm getting off track a bit, but the small town has so many activities, and it's all because of great volunteers and working together.
It's a great community.
We love it.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. And hopefully we have great luck for the rest of this weekend and lots of sunshine.
Ross, you were in National Geographic. What were you there for?
Oh, I sheared sheep at a guy's place 4 or 5 years ago, and from out of the blue there was a camera and a big light showed up at the sheep pen where I was shearing sheep. Within about, so I sheared 1 sheep, they left, then I clipped 2 more sheep, and I left and went to the house, and the lady at the house says, "Come here." So I went there, looked on the computer, and here I am.
So now you're a star.
I'm a star. No, I'm a long piece from a star.
So you have a farm with sheep.
Yeah, I've got roughly 120 sheep and 60 head of cattle and a few pigs and a few wild turkeys, and I shear sheep all over Eastern Ontario.
So you sheep yours and others?
And others, yeah.
So I didn't realize that shearing sheep was a service that you can offer to other farmers.
Oh yeah, there's 3 of us in Eastern Ontario that shear sheep. Not everybody wants to spend $500 on a set of shears and get a sore back for 10 minutes doing their own sheep, so they hired me to go in to shear the job.
I guess it's not electrical yet. It's still manual. Someone still has to do it.
There's 3 ways to shear sheep: the right way and the wrong way, and the way I do it, no, that's not quite right. 100 years ago, the wool was on the sheep and you used hand shears to shear sheep. And then as time progressed, there's a machine out there in the truck that's a hand crank jobby that two people, years ago before there was hydro, those two people one guy turned the crank to make power to shear. And now there's, thank God for electricity, and it's here.
So you're going to be showing us how it's done.
Yeah, I'll show you how it's done.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, you ready? What do you do now with the curtains off?
I am here with Murray Allen, a past president of the Vankleek Hill Fair. Hello, Murray. How are you?
Great.
Tell us a bit about this fair. How was it before? It's a really old fair.
Well, I've been a director of this fair. Well, this fair is 173 years old. I've been a director since I started farming in 1960 on my own, and so I've been here for over 50 years, being a director and helping out, involved in the different committees, and have been president, and this affair is a family get-together, you might say, and it brings the agricultural community together, and it gives an opportunity for local farmers and urban people to, not only farmers, but people can show in the hall their flowers, their all kinds of clothing, their sewing, their cooking, and of course the agricultural products like vegetables and grains. And so this, way back when, I know I have pictures at home. They used to show oxen here at this fair, and my great-grandfather showed oxen at the Vankleek Fair, because I have a picture of them taken outside the front gate.
Is it oxen instead of horses?
Yes, they had horses and oxen, but oxen was used first on farms, and you'll see them now at Upper Canada Village and places like that, but there's not many around. But at that time there was.
How come there isn't anymore?
Well, it's just like everything else. It's got to go faster, and so tractors came in.
Has to use gas.
Yeah, that's right. And so everything is, farms are larger and have consolidated. And but going back to the early fairs, they did pretty well, I think the same as they did now, but only on a smaller scale, and everything was based with horses and horse equipment.
So I guess at that time, because it was a smaller fair, most everybody knew everybody.
Oh, yes. That's the thing. Now people come from miles, because of advertising and families that have moved away, and then they always come back as a family reunion, more or less, each year to come to the fair and enjoy and get together once again.
We just passed there was some sort of a cow competition. What is that exactly?
We have the Holstein. Each year our county has a Holstein show here, and it gives the opportunity for the farmers in the area to bring their cattle out and compete with each other. And there's different classes, and we just finished the grand champion, and the reserve grand champion cow was picked by the judge, and that's the climax of the day. And you get recognized as a breeder in the area if you are able to achieve that.
So how many breeders are here today?
There's over 100 head of cattle here, and I would say, I'm not sure exactly, but I think there's probably 10 different breeders, 10 to 12 breeders here.
To qualify or to come into this fair, do the breeders have to be from the area, or
Yes.
they can? Yes, okay.
They have to be from Prescott County or neighboring county of Lochiel, which...
So explain to us a bit, how does this competition work? You explained to me earlier that their stomach has to be full of milk, and there is other criteria that they look at?
Yes, the judge is looking for a dairy animal that has a very good udder, that is walking on a good set of legs, and a very angular animal. And he compares that to, he compares each animal with that criteria. And so you're always looking for breeding a cow that will last a long time and give you lots of milk. And that's what they look for.
Well, thank you very much, Murray.
You're very welcome. My pleasure.
Julie Lantra. Bruce? Okay, yes, I thought, yeah.
Ce que j'adore de l'été, c'est la variété de foires que nous avons ici dans la région de Prescott-Russell. Et nous sommes ici pour vous les faire découvrir. Ceci était le Vankleek Hill Fair 2017. Je m'appelle Céline Boulris et on se revoit pour la prochaine émission de Passion et moi.